Hello and welcome to the League of Extraordinary Investigators Season 5, The Circle Undone. In case you're wondering what the League is, link is in the description down below. So, this is going to be our deck today. Obviously, we are playing with the newest taboo list, which means that this lovely Scroll of Secrets is not costing any actions anymore. And then we have Sword Cane, Mists of Gloria. Our only damage option is Spectral Razor. But we also have Gloria Goldberg and her ability, which means that Alyssa, Scroll of Secrets, and Peril Fates essentially are enemy management as well, if we need it to be. And the rest just basically general good stuff. Also Arcane Research, because you should play Arcane Research for every investigator possible, right? Unless it's standalone. And even in standalone, I would be inclined to play it anyways, just for the authentic mystic experience. Okay, so why are the cards gone? Well, weird, but okay, I guess. Let's take a look if everything is... Yeah, the deck looks fine though. So this is good. Okay. So what else do we need to do? We need to set up the Witching Hour. We need to decide if we want to accept our fate or reject our fate. So first of all, go into the Witching Hour. Well, what can I do to avoid this fate? Well, let's just say this is bullshit. I'm going to reject my fate. Because I hate that. I just hate getting 2 additional weaknesses into my deck. So, Gloria has rejected her fate. We are playing on standard, as per the league rules, which means this standard chaos bag here, which we are going to copy and spread out. So we want to have the scales bag at hand as we're playing the pendulum, which means we want to minimize the mental burden of remembering the chaos bag and the optimal value to guess. Also, as I chose to reject my fate, I'm adding 2 Elder Thing tokens into the bag, and I'm going to do the rest of the setup really quickly here. And randomize this. And I believe we're just going to go ahead and start a mulligan. This is it. I hope I'm not forgetting anything, but I believe I don't. 5 cards. Well, one thing I wanted to change though is this. Okay, what do we have here? True Understanding, which is nice. Sword Cane, which is nice. Oh well, I have... Wait a moment. Getting super curious. Okay, so Werner just saw me say that Gloria is the best investigator, which is obviously true. So my answer is just going to be, it is known. Also streaming right now, so I can't answer too much. Sorry. Okay. This is it. So we are still in the mulligan. I like True Understanding, but I don't think we want that right now. So we are going to mulligan those away. Ghastly Revelation and Spectral Razor. We are going to keep Sword Cane. And mulligan 4 cards. Well, still not the best, but close enough, I guess. We have enemies management, we have one card we are probably just going to play, why not? So, go right into our first location. 3 Shroud, nothing else too relevant. So, 3 Shroud, and when an enemy would spawn at a different Witch Haunted Woods, spawn it at this location instead, and it makes an immediate attack against each investigator at this location, which is just essentially blank for true solo, so we're not going to bother with that. It's 3 Shroud, 1 clue. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Parallel Fates. Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to set up first. So just last good luck shuffle, and what I want to set up here is I want to have 2 areas set up, which is going to be... Oh, that doesn't look good. Yeah, better. So I want to have 1 area for the top of the encounter deck, and 1 area for the bottom of the encounter deck. So this is going to be the top of the encounter deck. This is going to be the bottom of the encounter deck. I'm going to write that down as well, like here. This is going to be top of the deck, and this is going to be the bottom of the deck. Bottom. So that I can bottom. I'm going to drag the cards in here and just keep them in order. Well, playing Parallel Fates right now. So I'm going to look at the top 4 cards of the encounter deck, then I'm going to reveal a random token from the Chaos bag. If it's one of the bad stuff tokens, I'm going to shuffle those cards back into the deck. Otherwise, I'm going to return them into to the top of the deck in any order. And obviously I'm going to use Gloria's ability for anyone who doesn't know. First of all, you can choose the investigator order during the Mythos phase, which is irrelevant in true solo. I'm just going to be first and last every single time. But the second ability is the interesting one. When you look at 1 or more cards from the encounter deck, look at 1 additional card and choose 1 non-elite card among them. Either discard it, put it on top of the encounter deck, or place it face down beneath Gloria Goldberg. Max 3 cards beneath her. And the ability isn't limited to turns or rounds. You can use it on every single look ability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. 1, 2, well, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so far so good, I guess. What do we have here? So Racked is like the most irrelevant card. Let's put that to the top. Diabolical Voices, like the worst card in the entire deck. So I'm going to take... So first of all, I'm going to take Diabolical Voices beneath Gloria Goldberg. Let's make this the Gloria area. And I'm going to reveal a random token. -1. So I can actually return them to the top of the encounter deck in any order, which is what I'm going to do now. So Wrecked is something we don't really care about at first, so we can do that. The Initiate is something we don't really care about as well, so we can do this. Then we have like Diabolical Voices and Ancient Evils, and we will have to take one of them unless we'll get a different scrying card. So let's put it in this order. First Wrecked, then Initiate, then Voices, then Evils. Okay, that was my first action. My second action is going to be play Mists of Relier. And my third action is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I'm just going to try and investigate. And it works. So we get this clue. Upkeep phase. Oh, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted a round counter. Okay, we're at round 1. I'm going to enter upkeep, draw a card, and gain a resource. Now we have 2 of those now. Okay. And I'm going to enter the mythos phase of round number 2. So, round number 2, and Doom and encounter cards, which is going to be Wrecked. So far, so good. This is not looking too bad. I'm going to use my first action to try and get rid of Wrecked. I'm at 4 against 3. I'm going to commit Guts to be at 6 against 3. And this works. So I'm going to first of all discard this card, and second of all draw 1 card from Guts. Well, delve too deep, which is nice. And I believe I want to draw some cards. So my second action is going to be draw 1 card. And my third action is going to be draw another card. Okay. Then I'm going to enter upkeep, draw 1 card, and gain 1 resource. Okay. This is it. Round number 3. And Doom and counter cards. So we are going to draw the Coven Initiate. This should hopefully be fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a Revelation ability, discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. If this effect causes it to run out of cards, draw the topmost Hex card in the encounter discard pile. So we are going to discard both Diabolical Voices and Ancient Evils. Okay, so far so good. My first action is going to be use Mists of Relier to try and evade her. I'm up by 3. I'm 5 against 2. So I'm going to commit Eureka to be at 6 against 2. So this works. I'm going to use Eureka first. Okay. I'm going to take the Perception here, shuffle the rest back in. I'm going to evade her, and I'm going to move to the next location. Okay, we'll lose resources here, which is okay. This is my first action. My second action is going to be investigate this location. 4 against 3 again. I'm going to commit Perception, I believe. I mean, there are worse locations, but yeah, I'm going to commit Perception. This works. Draw a card, and this, I'm just going to check if this is a Razor I didn't shuffle. No, I did shuffle. Well, okay. Second action. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. So I'm still. First of all, I lose 1 resource for this. Yeah. My last action is going to be investigate 4 against 3 again. Well, now we draw this, so I'm going to choose an exhausted or damaged witch enemy at your location or connecting location, ready that enemy and heal all damage from it. Well, she's ready. Upkeep phase. Draw a card and gain a resource. So, round number 4. And encounter Doom and encounter cards, which is going to be a random encounter card. A random encounter card. another Coven Initiate, which is fine. Discard one card. Evil Past, well, this is okay card. Unfortunately, we discarded 2 fine cards, but okay. So, what we are going to do is we are going to use the first action to play a Sword Cane. And we're going to... This doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. And we're going to immediately trigger its ability as a reaction. Actually without paying its cost, so we don't exhaust the Sword Cane. I'm going to evade this initiate. 5 against 2, up by 3. Still my first action. This works, she's evaded. Then my second action is going to be try and investigate. 4 against 3. Actually, do I want to do it as a second action? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could try and play Ruth. I don't need Ruth for anything apart from this curse. So I'm not going to. I'm going to use my second action to investigate. This works. Get this clue. Clue number 3. And my last action. No, first of all, I'm going to lose 1 resource for gaining a clue. Then I'm going to play Crack the Case for 1, 2, 3 Shroud. And my last action is going to be move again. Right to the next location. Oh, I cannot investigate this location where I have between 3 and 10 resources. Which means I either have to get a whole bunch of resources or I have to play something expensive. Okay, upkeep. Draw 1 card. Gain 1 resource. And go into round number 5. Doom number 4, and still a random encounter card, which I dislike much. Okay, Ancient Evils. Is that a bad card? I believe it should be fine for now, hopefully. So I don't think I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to take 1 Doom and hopefully be fine. So, I can't investigate this just yet. 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I'm going to do is either draw cards or move. What is the best course of actions? I'm going to draw 1 card. Guts, okay. Do I want to draw another card and just play Delve to Deep? I'm going to do that, I believe. Draw another card. Okay. I'm going to draw her weakness, which means I'm going to draw a random non-weakness encounter card from beneath Gloria Goldberg, Diabolical Voices. That card gains peril, its effect cannot be cancelled, and you get -2 to all your skills while resolving its effect. If that card is an enemy, it's not. And if no card is drawn, no, I draw a card. So, we're going to test Diabolical Voices, the worst card in the encounter deck. We have 1 Diabolical Voices in the discard pile, which means this is a difficulty 4 test. And for each point you fail by, discard 1 random card from your hand. I'm at 5, -2 from my weakness. I'm 3 against 4. Which means this is going to be a hard test for me. So I'm going to take this test. -1. For each point you fail by, I fail by 2. Discard the top card of the encounter deck. 1, Centuries, 2, another Centuries. Okay. And then I'm going to have to discard 2 random cards from my hand, as I fail by 2. And I'm going to play Deny Existence for discarding cards. And I'm not going to discard cards for this. Well, at least my weakness is gone. I have 1 last action, which I believe I'm going to use to play a Delve to Deep and hope for the best. So, I'm going to draw 1 encounter card for this, Bedeviled. Well, this might get annoying, but okay. Delve to Deep, and Upkeep Phase. Draw one card. Well, nice. Finally. Gain one resource. Okay. Round number 6. Doom number 6. And encounter cards. Still a random one. Rotting Remains. Well, this should be fine theoretically. So, do I need to commit something? I could commit Guts here. I'm 5 against 3. Could commit Guts just to draw some cards. Let's see, do I have anything important in my deck? Yeah, I would like to have a Pendulum. But I believe I have no real need for this. So I'm going to take the test. 5 against 3. I'm going to get a -3, which means we're going to take this or this witch and ready her. Doesn't really matter. And we were down by 1 now, so I'm going to take 1 horror for Rotting Remains. Okay, first action is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 resources to play Alyssa. Then I'm going to immediately use Alyssa to look at the top card of either the encounter deck or any player deck. I'm going to choose the encounter deck. And I don't bother adding Doom, because I'm just going to use Gloria Goldberg's ability on this. Top 1, +1 for Gloria. Okay, we have Dissonant Voices. Should be fine. I have 2 actions this turn. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to take Dissonant Voices and then Rotting Remains. Because I don't believe I need to play cards next turn. Okay, my second action is going to be Investigate. Now I'm at 2 resources, which means I can actually do it. I'm at 5 against 2. I'm going to take this clue. So my last action is going to be 5 against 3. I'm going to try and get rid of Bedeviled. And this works as well. Upkeep. Draw a card. Gain a resource. And round number 7. Doom number 7. Encounter cards. It's Dissonant Voices. What a surprise. I didn't expect that. So my first action is going to be, I'm going to move to this Witch-Haunted Woods. Okay, when the last clue is discovered from this location, spawn the topmost enemy in the encounter discard pile at this location. If there are no enemies in the discard pile, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and spawn that enemy instead. I don't believe we have an enemy here. No, we don't. Let's just have a quick look. This is random anyways. This does not do anything too relevant. Okay. So, what I'm thinking about doing is just investigate twice and at worst take 2 damage. I think that should be fine. My second action is going to be investigate. 5 against 1, up by 4. Doesn't work anyways. But it doesn't have a haunted ability, so my third action is going to be investigate as well. Gain this clue. That was my last action. I'm going to use Alyssa and look at the top 2 cards again. So this is the top card, this is the second to the top. I'm going to keep both on the top. Upkeep Phase. Draw 1 card. Gain 1 resource. Upkeep this. And this. This is gone at the end of the round. And I'm going to enter round number 8. 1 Doom. Which means we're going to advance the agenda. The moon reaches the height of its arc in the night sky. The trees begin to shift and twist in the breeze. as though made of something older than solid matter. Dozens of birds suddenly scatter from every treetop. In the distance you can hear a faint melody, the pitch bending in the wind. A cloaked figure emerges from the darkness beyond the brush, a vortex of magical energy coalescing at her feet. Are you the ones who have been meddling with their works? She wonders aloud, gazing at you suspiciously from underneath her thick hood. It is no matter. You are not welcome here, she threatens. Begone or face the consequences. Well, discard all but the last 5 cards from the encounter deck, which I forgot about, so this doesn't matter. 1. Discard all but 5. Unfortunately we get an enemy. So, the investigator with most cards in his or her play area, which is going to be me anyways, must draw the topmost witch enemy from the encounter discard pile, which is this priestess. Well, annoying, but can't really do anything about this. And then the next round, place 1 doom on this agenda for every witch enemy at the witch's circle at the end of the round. So we don't have the witch's circle yet, so we don't really care. Okay, now we have to take an encounter card, unfortunately a random one. Coven Initiate. Okay, we have every single witch out now. 1, 2 discards. At least we milled the last Diabolical voices as well. Okay. How do we do this? Do I just evade twice? No. This can spawn an enemy if there is no enemy left. So we have every single enemy in play. And what we don't want is the priestess attacking. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with my first action, use the sword cane on the priestess. This means I'm going to evade her 5 against 2. I'm thinking about committing something. I could commit a guts. But I think it's fine. I'm going to evade her 5 against 2. This works. Okay, so she is evaded. My second action is going to be I'm going to investigate, taking 1 attack of opportunity here. And I'm going to investigate with 5 against 1. So I don't fail, which is good. So I'm going to discover this clue. What happens now is... Oh, actually we're just going to get an attack from the priestess anyways. Oh, at least we didn't get 2. Okay, what happens here is I'm going to spawn the topmost enemy in the discard pile at this location. There is none. So I'm going to discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until the enemy is discarded. We are going to try this, but nothing happens because there is no enemy. So, now first of all, she is going to trigger her force effect. When the encounter deck runs out of cards, right now, she readies and attacks each investigator at this location. So we get 1 attack. And then this is going to be shuffled. And I have 1 action remaining, which is going to be Miss Savrier. Evade the priestess of the coven. 5 against 2. I'm going to commit guts to this test to make this a 7 against 2. And this works, so I'm going to evade her first. I'm going to move to this location. After any number of clues are discovered, oh, this is the worst location in the whole game, in this whole scenario, but it's okay. So after any number of clues are discovered from this location, each investigator at this location must discard an equal number of cards at random from his or her hand. Okay, and now we're going to trigger guts and draw 1 card from this. Okay, enemy phase. She's going to attack us. Upkeep phase. Draw one card. Gain one resource. And I have to discard one card from my hand. Okay, so I do like the scroll though. But I need to discover those clues somehow. So could use Ruth as a really good commit option. Or I could either discard Ruth here. I don't want to discard Revelation because we're going to discard random cards later on. So I'm going to use one clue with Perception and the other one with True Understanding, so I don't need Ruth here. Okay. Rest of Upkeep. Everything is done. So round number 9. And oh no, before I forgot to use my good old Alyssa, which I want to do first, obviously. And I think Racked is less important, is it? Actually, I actually think it's Rotting Remains for now. So we're going to use Greg Goldberg's ability to put Rotting Remains on top of the encounter deck. Okay, this was last turn here. So now we're going to enter round number 9. Place one Doom here. And we're going to draw an encounter card, Rotting Remains. Okay. I'm going to commit True Understanding. So I'm at 5, I'm at 6 against 3. Plus 0, this works. So we're going to trigger True Understanding. If this skill test is successful, discover one clue at your location. What a nice little card. This clue is ours. Okay. Now I don't even need to kill her anymore. Oh, first of all, don't forget this. I discovered a clue. I need to discard an equal number of cards at random from my hand. So group those. And discard one Ghastly Revelation, unfortunately. Okay. But we are still fine so far. Now I just need to think about the right course of action. Do I want to keep her alive? Or do I want to kill her using Spectral Razor? I believe I want to keep as many cards in my hand as possible. So what I am going to do is I am going to use Sword Cane as my first action, trying to evade this initiate. 5 against 2. This works. She is evaded. First action. Second action is going to be I'm going to draw one card. And my last action is going to be investigate. Using a perception, I'm at 5, 6, 7 against 4. This works. So first of all, I'm going to use perception to draw one card. Then I'm going to discover this clue. And now I need to discard a random card from my hand. Okay, Spectral Razor. So I just drew a card just to avoid discarding the other Revelation here. Just to have better odds at avoiding that. So, this is my last action. I'm going to enter Upkeep Phase, draw one card, gain one resource, upkeep everything, ready everything. She's going to engage us again. Round number 10. And, oh, I forgot Alyssa again. Alyssa, my lovely, helpful Alyssa. Yeah, I'm going to keep it this way. Okay. Now, a Doom and an encounter card. So, we are going to use Sword Cane on her. Yeah, we can afford to save charges. So we are at 5 minus 1 for this test, for this rect. 4 against 2. First action, evade her. This works. Second action is going to be get rid of rect. I have an exhausted witch enemy at my location, so this is automatically successful. Actually, I have a better idea. Name a number if this test succeeds or fails by... Yeah, my second action is going to be play Crystal Pendulum. And my last action is going to be do this Willpower 3 test. I'm using Crystal Pendulum, and I'm going to name the number 3. No, I'm going to name the number 6. This means there is an exhausted witch enemy at my location, so I'm going to automatically succeed, and that means I'm succeeding against 0. I'm at 6. Oh, I passed by 6. Well, what a surprise! I'm going to draw 1 card. And I'm not forgetting Alyssa this time. Bedeviled and Ancient Evils. Well, I'm going to keep Bedeviled here. Actually, no. I'm going to take Ancient Evils. Okay. Draw 1 card. Okay. 13th Vision. Gain a resource. And ready everything. Round number 11. Doom number 3. Encounter cards. Ancient Evils. I'm going to pay 1 resource and play Ward of Protection. Take a horror and cancel this Ancient Evils. Okay, so far so good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to... Let's see, I'm at 6 now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Mists of Rie to evade 6 against 4. That's my first action. This means I'm going to use Crystal Pendulum. 6 against 4. So we have 4 things for a 1, or for a 2. Yeah, I'm going to say 2 here. And try to evade her. So we succeed. Oh no, actually, I did say 2. Wait a minute. I'm at 6. I draw -2. I succeed by 2 actually. But I'm not going to draw a card because I meant to say 3 then. So, she is evaded. I'm going to move to this location. That's my first action. My second action is going to be play a Scroll of Secrets, the newest taboo version, which means the effect is a quick triggered effect, a free triggered ability actually. And I'm going to use it for the bottom card of my deck. So I'm going to look at the bottom card of any investigator's deck, my deck, and I can either discard it, add it to my hand, or place it on the bottom of my deck, or on the top. I'll deny existence. I'm going to draw this card. I'm going to use Alyssa for the top 2 cards of the encounter deck again. Well, Centuries, something we don't really want to draw. So I'm just going to... Actually, it's fine. I'm going to keep both cards like this. I have 1 action remaining. I'm going to use this action to draw 1 card. Then I'm going to enter the Upkeep Phase, draw a card, gain a resource, well, 4 cards. What I want to draw is, I want to draw my Delve the Deep. Okay, everything readies. I'm going to enter round number 12. Doom number 4 on this card, and encounter cards. I have 8 cards in hand? Yes, I do. Okay, I draw Bedeviled, which should be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, my first 2 actions, use them to get rid of the 13th vision. Then I'm going to use Alyssa to look at the top 2 cards. And I'm going to take the evil past on top. So far so good. Now I do believe I want to get rid of Bedeviled. At least I want to try. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my last action to trigger this ability here. This is not a card I control, otherwise this would be a really stupid card. So I can trigger it. I'm at 6 against 3. This time I'm actually going to say 2 because I want that -1 to trigger. So -3, but I'm still succeeding as I was at 6. This is gone. I don't think I want to use the scroll here, do I? I want to use the scroll, but I'm going to use it on the encounter deck. I'm going to look at cards from the encounter deck, which means I'm going to look at 2 using Gloria's ability. Okay, I don't really want to put Dissonant Voices here, because I want to play cards for sure. I can afford a Rotting Remains. So I'm going to take this Rotting Remains right to the top of the deck, using Gloria Goldberg's ability, and keep the rest there. Or do I want to get rid of Dissonant Voices? No, it's fine. So, upkeep. Draw 1 card, gain a resource. Now I need to discard down to 8 cards. So, what card can I afford to lose? True Understanding is still useful enough. I think Alyssa, in the hopes that I don't need the soak. Okay. Everything readies. And round number 13, doom number 5, I'm going to draw this encounter card. Rotting Remains. I'm at 6 against 3, so I'm going to say 2 again. And this time I actually succeed by 2, so I'm going to draw the card. Yes, and it is the card we were looking for. Delve to Deep. So, now I'm all set up to start working on towards finishing the game. Oh yeah, thanks. I just way prefer to rotate them 45 degrees, I don't know. I actually know this, but I don't like the looks of it. Like, if you rotate them like this, I don't know, you can't read them that well, and I just like the aesthetics of rotating them 45 degrees. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, you can change the rotation angle, and I'm using the shortcuts Q and E. I think you can change that to rotate the cards by combination. So for 90 degrees. Oh no, thanks. I don't mind at all. It's always better to try and be helpful. You're not rude about it, no problem. So, and F to flip cards, if you don't know that as well. Oh yeah, Gloria is best. Obviously, the bestest investigator in the game. Okay, so this was exhausted though, as I just took the Rotting Remains test. Nothing else was. Okay. So, let's start entering our end game here. First action is going to be play a Delve to Deep. Draw this card, which is Evil Past. Put Evil Past into play in your threat area if there is no copy of it in your threat area. It's not. And this is it. Delve Too Deep number 2 is done. Okay. Now I have some actions to spare. So I have 2 cards left in my deck. I don't really need to draw through my deck. That's just risking more weaknesses. I'm going to use Scroll of Secrets for the bottom 2 cards of the... No, before I do that, first of all I'm going to use Alyssa for the top 2, because otherwise I would just scry something from the bottom, put it on top, and not look any deeper with Alyssa. Okay, I don't mind Racked. So I'm going to put Racked on top, and Centuries should be fine as well. Then I'm going to use the Scroll of Secrets to look at the bottom 2. So this is the bottom one we already know. And this is the other one. Also, for those 2 are a little bit different. Here, this is the top card of the encounter deck, and here, this is the bottom. So from the bottom to, and this is the second to the bottom. So actually, if you would draw through this, that's the wrong order. It should be like this, because you would draw this first, but I just like to do it this way, and I'm labeling it as such. So we have a Diabolical Voices, which is a card we really dislike. So I'm just going to discard it right from the encounter deck, using Gloria Goldberg's ability. And I'm going to honestly discard Dissonant Voices as well, using the Scroll of Secrets. So I can discard it, and I can discard it as well. So my second action is going to be what I wanted to do here. I'm going to pay 1 resource and play a new Scroll of Secrets to use right away, I believe, on the bottom 2 cards of the encounter deck, as Gloria Goldberg's ability is not limited to anything. Well, another Dissonant Voices I'm going to discard, and honestly, the Ancient Evils. We could just draw the Ancient Evils, to be fair. I'm going to put it on top. Okay, 1 action remaining. I'm going to use that action to, I believe, play Mists of Gloria. Just to be entirely 100% sure, hopefully. Upkeep, draw 1 card and gain 1 resource. Upkeep, ready every card. Ready everything here. Enter round... No, before I enter round number 14, it's still round number 13. And at the end of the round, investigators may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. So it's 2. I'm going to do it right now at the end of the round. Spend 2 clues. Advance this act. As the rain lets up, a dense fog rolls in throughout the area. Soon all of the woods have vanished within a hazy fog. You call out for your companions, but none answer. You grope blindly in the haze, searching for something, anything to which you can cling. Each investigator must randomly choose one of the set-aside Arkham Woods locations, put it into play in front of her, and immediately move to that location. Let's start by doing that. So, Arkham Woods, where are you? Here. Let's shuffle this and take the bottommost card. The other ones are gone. Immediately move to this location. Well, this location is investigated using willpower instead of the skill indicated by the investigation attempt. That is something we can quite easily do. Not that we need the clue. Each investigator spawns a set-aside goat spawn at his or her location. Also, a really interesting fun fact. Each investigator spawns a set-aside goat spawn at his or her location. FFG actually started to use gender-neutral pronouns. And on the newest cards, if you noticed that, it would be at their location, I believe. Which is a fun little fact you usually don't realize, actually, but I think it's quite cool. So, I'm going to spawn this goat spawn at my location. That means it would engage myself. And if there's 4 investigators in the game, this doesn't matter. Now I'm going to test either agility or willpower 3. Each investigator who succeeds exhausts that enemy and disengages from it. So let's just have a look. Do we want to test agility or do we want to test willpower? It's just a difference of 5, right? Yeah, obviously we're testing willpower. Do I want to use the pendulum? No, I don't. Do I want to use it? Do I want to commit Eureka? Don't really care. I'm going to test 6. I'm going to commit True Understanding. I'm testing 7 against 3, so I'm up by 4. And to be honest, why not? I'm going to use the pendulum and I'm going to say I'm up by 4, so I'm going to say 2 again. We succeed by 4. So I'm going to discover 1 clue at my location just to be sure to get every single clue in this general area. I'm going to disengage and exhaust, disengage from and exhaust this gold spawn. Right? Yeah, I'm exhausting it and disengaging it. I'm going to shuffle 1 of the set aside copies of Demonic Piping into the encounter deck. So this is shuffled. 1 of this Demonic Piping is shuffled in here as well. And the other 2 are placed in the encounter discard pile. So we have no way of killing him, so we won't even try to scry ourselves to Demonic Pipings. Okay. This is everything from this advance, so now we are entering round number 15. Oh no, now we're entering round number 14, I just misclicked before. So, Doom number 6, we have 8, yeah, it's round number 14. Because we have 1 Ancient Evils and we actually got 14 Doom. So this works. And we're going to draw 1 card. Unfortunately, the shuffle here is after the test, so we couldn't use an action window or free triggered ability window, player window, how it's called, to scry the card, so we're going to draw 1 card blindly. Oh my god. A blind encounter card! It's Centuries of Secrets. Well, I do want to keep my Alyssa, so I could just ward this, but honestly, it's not worth warding at all, so I'm going to... Actually, we don't even care. I'm going to play a Ward of Protection. Take 1 horror, pay 1 resource, and discard this card. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to end the game. Let's start by entering the investigation phase. And if a single investigator spends the requisite amount of clues, advance. I'm going to spend 1 clue. This clue. I'm going to advance this act. As you scour the woods for answers or a path that would lead you back home, you find yourself drawn off the beaten trail by a mesmerizing melody of silvery pipes. Deeper into the damp, hazy woodland you delve. Yeah, I did delve really deep. Searching for the source of the strange music. Finally, you come upon a foggy clearing, at the center of which lies a half-rotten tree stump. An old but delicately carved wooden flute lies atop of the stump, silently beseeching you to approach. The moment you touch the instrument, the piping melody that lured you here is cut short, and the dense fog around you disperses with a sudden breeze. For the remainder of the scenario, investigators may now enter locations in front of other investigators. Well, we don't really care. We're going to immediately spend 3 more clues. 1, 2, 3. 2. Oh, with the strange fog dispersed, you are now able to explore the woods. You are unable to find the main path that leads back to Uptown. But this is your chance to discover more about the ritual the witches are conducting. Well, this is gone as well. Revelation. Put the witch's circle into play. Okay, let's put it into play. in front of none of the investigators, the lead investigator spawns the set-aside Annette Mason at the Witch's Circle. Annette Mason, where are you? There you go. Annette Mason. The lead investigator, yeah. After the enemy phase begins, move each ready and engaged witch enemy once towards the Witch's Circle, and after the enemy phase begins, well, we're not going to experience this anymore. You come across a clearing where a ritual circle has been constructed. Several hooded figures stand around it in a trance, unaware of your presence. Overlooking the ritual is a powerfully built woman who brandishes a long wavy dagger as she sees you approach. "Leave this place at once," she commands. Locations in front of you, yeah, that's the same thing. So, we have the objective either if Annette Mason is defeated, advance, or if there are no clues on the Witch's Circle, advance. Also, this is a good opportunity to just ask everyone watching. I would really appreciate it if you drop a follow. I'm going to play some League games every second week and play some Arkham every week. But for now, we just have to end this scenario. This is it. We've advanced both acts. I'm going to use my first action to move out of this location. It is connected with each witch-haunted woods. I'm going to use my second action to move into the Witch's Circle, which is connected to the witch-haunted woods as well. And I'm going to use the third action to play Ghastly Revelation. So, how this works is this doesn't provoke attacks of opportunities. And I'm going to discover 3 clues at my location. 1, 2, 3. And instead of continuing to read it, yes, I made sure the rules work. I was reasonably sure myself, I was sure myself, but I wanted to ask several other people just so this doesn't give me any penalties. I'm discovering 3 clues at my location. And before anything else triggers, as objectives are triggered immediately without any windows or something, there are no clues on the Witch's Circle. So before this card fully resolves, I'm going to advance the act. So what we have here is, if you advance by discovering all the clues on the Witch's Circle, a loud crack echoes throughout the woods as you break the circle and reverse the witch's spell. "No! They have broken the ritual!" one of the witches screams as the spell's energy backfires. White-hot lightning strikes the center of the field, sending dirt and debris flying in every direction. You duck for cover. Well, we get to resolution number 2. And we are going to... As far as I didn't miss any penalties, we're just going to get every single point we wanted to get. Let's go into resolution. I think this is a bit too long to read. We're going to record some things. So, first of all, the witch's spell was broken. The witch's spell was broken. Okay. What else do we need to do? In your campaign log under Mementos discovered, record Mesmerizing Flute. Mesmerizing Flute. Record Scrap of Torn Shadow. Interesting thing. Scrap of Torn Shadow. Each investigator earns 1 bonus experience as they gain insight into Arkham's mysterious past. So, we're going to get some 10 experience points. And this is it. Let's recount everything. We're going to get experience points. This, and this. So let's take those and so they don't distract. And let me just search for something real quick here. Yeah, Ben, very confident he'll do full points even if massively unlucky. Well, we weren't unlucky. Especially not massively unlucky. But so, how do we count the league points actually for anyone who is not in the league? Let's just show this then. So, this is what the league's all about. We're playing a true solo or duo scenario every 2 weeks. We're streaming it, and one person will have to review this scenario for any errors. I did play mistakes, like rules mistakes, not play mistakes. And we count the scenario victory points kept at 6. So what we wanted to get is 6 experience points from enemies and locations. This is scenario 1, the witching hour. Let's count this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the count from scenario victory points actually, not from the resolution. So we have 7. We get 2 from delves, and we get 1 bonus point. The bonus point is from the resolution. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this in the future. Furthermore, I stream my games over at my Twitch channel, link is in the description. In case you have any questions or just want to show your appreciation for the new bestest investigator in the game, feel free to do so in the comments below. Also, if you want to watch some post-scenario thoughts and deck building comments at the end of the stream, click on the bottom video. I'll see you next time and have a great day.